Good Tuesday morning, meteorologist Jeff Gerber. We're here this morning on our regular stream we do from 11:30 to 11:45 every morning. We give you the latest, what's going on as far as the weather is concerned. We'll do it in a slower fashion than our quick 2.5 to 3 minutes we usually get during a weathercast, so you can take a real good look at the weather and see what's going on out there. Today we're going to be talking about rain chances. They're still in the forecast through the weekend, but the good news is instead of 50-60% every day, they're coming down. More like 20-30% as we head towards the weekend, so some good news there. And we'll also be looking at the tropics. We'll be looking at Aaron. Aaron has weakened quite a bit today. Looks kind of ragged out there. We'll show you that. And also we're going to be looking at a couple of things behind Aaron. I don't know where they're going to go at this point, but they are taking that track off towards the west. They've got a long way to go before they get here, but we'll talk about that just a little bit. But first of all, let's take a look at the rest of the day forecast. If you're just joining us for a quick minute here to see what you can expect for the rest of the afternoon, it's going to be hot and humid, no surprise there. We'll be up around 94, the heat index probably 105, maybe a little over that for this afternoon. So if you don't get any of these showers that pop up, and there won't be very many of them this afternoon, maybe 20-30%. You'll need to stay hydrated, need to take your breaks from time to time if you're going to be outside working or doing something for an extended period of time out in the heat. By 6 o'clock, still close to 90, and we'll see about a 30% chance of a few showers. By 10 o'clock, we'll be back into the lower 80s with just some partly cloudy skies, expecting lows tonight back down into the 70s. Algae report is up a little bit from yesterday. Remember yesterday still had zero tree on grass, but weed and mold are up. Yesterday they were both low. Today they're at medium, so up a little bit there, but still not a horrible algae report. We've seen a lot worse than this, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look outside, and all we're seeing for the most part right now is some blue skies. I've seen a couple of clouds, little high thin clouds here and there, but not bad. I like to see the blue skies. We haven't seen a whole lot of that this summer with all the scattered showers and thunderstorms. This is Horseman's Western Store. We're looking off towards the west. Usually we have a camera pointed to the east, but we have this one pointed to the west for today. And Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network currently showing 91 degrees already, and we haven't even hit the lunch hour yet. Over in Orange, humidity 59% there. We'll switch over to downtown Beaumont. This is from our Packer LaPrade location, looking at the Jefferson County Courthouse. And a little hazy on this camera, not quite as blue, but a little bit of high level cloudiness, but looking pretty good downtown. Temperature's not quite as hot. We're about 86 degrees downtown. Humidity still up there in the 60% range, 65% to be exact. And there's not much of a breeze to help out. You can see that wind only out of the northeast at about 1 to 3 miles an hour. So yeah, not not much of a breeze at all, but it looks nice out the window. You sit inside with the air conditioner on and see the blue skies. That's not bad, but you step out, it's going to be pretty hot out there. As we look from our 12 News studio, we're looking northward down I-10. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. Oh, you see there towards the left bottom of your screen, looks like traffic may be starting to back up a little bit out here in front of the station on I-10. So if you're heading out to lunch, you might want to take note of that. Maybe trying to go from, say, Delaware, getting on the interstate, want to jump down to Washington. It looks like there might be a little bit of a slowdown there, so be aware of that. But looks pretty good overall. If you're heading off towards the north on I-10, or maybe where I guess you can say heading east, it looks like it's okay, but maybe a little bit of a build-up there in the traffic. And our Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network over in Lake Charles, once again, clear skies for the most part, a little hazy there with a little bit of high little cloudiness as we look down towards the port of Lake Charles for this morning, and looking pretty nice out there for this morning. All right, let's take a look at what we can see temperature-wise right now, and we're working our way into the middle 80s. 86 in Beaumont, also Port Arthur, Silsbee, and Jasper, all at about 86 right now. 85 in Orange. Speaking of Lake Charles, they're at about 85, and then we're about 80 in Kirbyville. As you look out towards the west, Huntsville down to Conroe, and Houston 87. Everybody there into the 80s. They had some rain and thunderstorms out there this morning thanks to a cluster of some thunderstorms that moved just to our west. We didn't get any of that, but they got some pretty heavy rain over towards places like Conroe and Huntsville earlier this morning with some thunderstorms. You can actually see a couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms still left over well out towards our west. A little bit of a thunderstorm there to the west of Conroe. But in the immediate area, you gotta have anything. You gotta have a few clouds to have some showers and thunderstorms, and we don't even have that out there for right now. They will start to build up a little bit as we get into the afternoon. Like I said, expecting maybe some activity to kind of flare up to our east and slide into our area like we did last night. We had a couple of thunderstorm complexes. One came in from the north, and it packed a little bit of a punch. We had some people with some power outages late last night, early this morning, with some of those thunderstorms producing some gusty winds, a lot of lightning with some of those thunderstorms last night. We had actually one severe thunderstorm warning that was up in Newton County. So hopefully we won't see anything like that tonight, but we will see hopefully a few showers here and there. At least I'm forecasting that, so that's why I said hopefully we'll see a few. All right, here's that cluster that came through this morning. You can see it continues to work its way off down towards Victoria, and might make it all the way down to Corpus Christi a little bit later on this afternoon. Some showers out into the Gulf, and then that cluster of storms probably producing quite a bit of wind. You can see it's moving pretty quickly off towards the south and west. But Houston's cleared out now, so if you got plans to run over there this afternoon, you don't have to worry about anything as far as any rain trying to get over to Houston, or maybe traveling over to Lake Charles. Looks pretty good there as well. Most of the state actually looks pretty dry. We don't see too much going on. There's a little bit of cloudiness here and there, but overall not looking too bad. Maybe a few showers out there into the Gulf. Let's check the rest of the country and see what's going on. A couple of showers and thunderstorms through Kansas and Missouri, the Midwest there, maybe a few down towards Oklahoma. They seem to be dying down, but they had some showers and thunderstorms this morning. Also some pretty heavy rains up through parts of Michigan for this morning. Those will continue to push off towards the east, so it looks like they might be heading towards maybe Pennsylvania and western New York State there. Most of the East Coast is very quiet, and looking at the West Coast, very quiet. Not much going on. Matter of fact, from the Intermountain West all the way to the West Coast, not seeing much activity out there for today. Now, if you look, you can't really see, we got this little banner over it, but over here, that is Hurricane Aaron, which we've been keeping track of for the last several days. Right now, it is looking pretty ragged. Just a day ago, we had a nice eye. Everything was compact around the circle. Now it's kind of stretched out a little bit. It's not quite as organized as it was, and in turn, it's not quite as strong as it was. Winds are at 105 miles an hour. It's moving off to the northwest at about 9, so it'll continue on that track kind of to the northwest, but it will make that turn away from the U.S. as we head through the next couple of days. You can see it's 650 miles southwest of Bermuda right now. And here's the track from the National Hurricane Center as of 10 o'clock this morning. And you can see winds do maybe come up a little bit to about 110. That's what they're forecasting, but they keep it a Category 2. Now, earlier this morning, they were thinking that could be strengthening back up to a Category 3. But right now, they'll keep it a Category 2. Now, it's not going to affect the East Coast, but it's going to come awful close, maybe some of those outer banks of North Carolina, the Carolinas. So they're expecting pretty high tides. They've evacuated the outer banks because they think the surf is going to be very high. Could see some flooding there, and also some rip tides all up and down the eastern seaboard. So not the time to make that beach vacation out towards the East Coast. The surf's just not going to be good. Now, if you're a surfer, maybe, I don't know. But looks like it's going to stay away from the U.S., so good news there. Not going to make any direct impact across the East Coast. Now, out in the Atlantic, we have a couple of things the Hurricane Center is watching. One's out towards the central Atlantic. This one has about a 60% chance of developing. Right now, it doesn't look like a whole lot. Matter of fact, the one behind it actually looks a little bit better. That has a 30% chance of developing over the next 7 days. But this just came off the coast of Africa, so it's still way, way out there. And this one also way, way out there. It's still got a few days to go before it even make it to the Caribbean, if it would make it there. But right now, this one looks like it's going to take a kind of the track of Aaron, as it maybe stays north of Caribbean, which is good for us, because if most of these storms, if they make it north of Caribbean, typically they're trying to tend to kind of go this way up towards the southeastern U.S. Of course, there's been lots that have gone straight and moved through the Bahamas, Florida, and into the Gulf. But this one looks like it might be taking that track up into the Atlantic, kind of like Aaron did. Now, this one back here, we'll have to wait and see. It's a long way out, and whether it makes it to the Gulf or not, we'll have to wait and see. We'll continue to track it. We'll keep you updated each day as we get more reports from the National Hurricane Center. All right, as we take a look at our forecast for today, Futurecast not showing anything as far as any rain as we get into later on this afternoon into the early evening hours, but we'll go ahead and kind of cover ourselves and put in about a 30% chance of a few showers or thunderstorms popping up. If we don't see anything, that's fine, but we'll go ahead and put in a small chance. And then as we go into this evening, we'll see temperatures falling back down through the 80s, and then overnight we'll go with mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and we'll see temperatures once again back into the 70s, some middle 70s for the most part across southeast Texas and going up in towards the lakes area. Tomorrow, as we get into the afternoon, we'll heat up again. We'll see temperatures back up there around 93, 94. And then tomorrow, Futurecast trying to show a little bit more in the way, maybe some development as far as some of those showers and thunderstorms off towards our east and moving in our direction. So we'll go about a 40% chance on Wednesday, and we'll even push that up to about 60% as we head towards, looks like Thursday. All right, let's know now our coastal marine forecast for today. Water temperature out there in the Gulf is about 90. Texas Point right now, we're seeing an east wind about 7 to 8 miles per hour. And we're going to see an east to northeasterly wind through the afternoon at 5 to 10 knots. Seas only about a foot. Mostly smooth on the inland lakes and bays, so really not a bad afternoon for the boat if you can get out. Watch out late in the afternoon for maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Only high tide we had today was at 3:05 this morning, and that was the last one for today. And then we only have one low tide. That's at around 7 o'clock for tonight. Our sunset is at 7:53, so it's getting earlier and earlier, and our sunrise getting later and later at 6:45 now. Those days are getting shorter, getting close to fall. Well, not that close, but we're getting there. All right, our forecast for today, partly sunny. Well, mostly sunny, then by the late afternoon, maybe partly sunny with about a 30% coverage of some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. Northeasterly winds at around 3 to 8. Temperatures right there into the middle to lower 90s as we go through the afternoon. So hot and humid, especially up towards the lakes area where it could be a little bit hotter for later on today. And then for tonight, mostly clear, calm winds, really no rain expected. We'll see those middle 70s. Through around the triangle here, 75, 76 around the triangle, and then 74, maybe 73 up towards the lakes. Now our 7-day forecast, we're looking at rain coverages, like I said, up a little bit tomorrow, 40%, 60% for Thursday. We have a front coming down into the area that's going to stall out and give us those rain chances for the next few days. So a little bit better chance. Looks like Thursday might be the best day for some showers and thunderstorms to flare up across the area. And once that front leaves, we'll see drier air filter in and a lot drier forecast as we head towards Saturday, Sunday, and then again on Monday. So we're down to 30 to 20%, which is some of the best rain coverages we've seen in a while. Usually they've been hovering between about 30 and 50% every day. So a little bit drier air. So this weekend, your outdoor plants, I think you'll be okay. There might be a couple of showers here and there, an isolated thunderstorm, but overall, heading to the lake or just barbecuing outside or whatever, I don't think you're going to run into too many problems. You're definitely going to have to deal with the heat. We're going to be seeing the highs into the lower 90s. That means the heat index is probably going to be up there around 102, maybe 106. So you got to take care there. But overall, we don't have to worry about a washout as far as your weekend is concerned. Morning lows will continue to be right there into the lower to middle 70s, and that's kind of the way it's been through the whole summer. Through this whole summer, we've been looking at lows into the 70s. But right now, we're averaging a little over an inch behind for the year. So maybe some of this rain can catch us up just a little bit. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this morning. Thanks for joining the stream. Patrick will be back with another stream tonight at 6:30 to 6:45. Have a great afternoon.